Alright, so what's going on, guys? Chopper here. So today, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the controversy about PlayStation taking away Black Ops 3 from Xbox. And there's a lot of things going around about that, how Xbox is upset that, PlayStation just pretty much robbed that from them. And Xbox feel like they kind of got underhanded, shortchanged. They feel like Xbox kind of, not Xbox, Activision kind of betrayed them, and I get that. I really do. I understand what that feels like because that's how PlayStation players have felt for these past couple years of Call of Duty, pretty much since Modern Warfare 2. Now, if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, this means that for Black Ops 3, PlayStation is going to get the beta first, the DLC first, and this is what I want to talk about if, Major League Gaming is going to be played on PlayStation or if it's still going to be on Xbox. Now, because DLC and the beta are coming first on PlayStation, so it's kind of taking Xbox's role from the past couple years. That brings up the question, is MLG going to be played on PlayStation or is it still going to be on Xbox? Just using logical deduction and the way things are going and things like that, just what I've been seeing, I would say that it is going to be on PlayStation. That's what I would tell you. And like I said, a lot of Xbox players are upset about this because they feel like they got cheated out of this because, they've had Call of Duty for the past, probably since Modern Warfare 2, I would say, and now it's just now switching. So it's going to be quite a transition to switch from PlayStation to Xbox. And speaking from a PlayStation player's perspective, all these years of Call of Duty, trying to upload DLC is a pain. I'm telling you. Either I don't upload any DLC at all, which is probably the worst thing I can do, because it's supposed to get a lot of channel growth off of DLC. That's where a lot of my new viewers come in from. And then also, I could either do that or I could go to someone who has an Xbox, but I may not necessarily have all the equipment or resources and time to make the best video possible, which I try to do for you guys. So what I'm trying to say is that it's nice for PlayStation players to start getting a little piece of that pie. It's just nice to have that privilege of being served first. Xbox has had it for the past couple years, and since it's switched now, I finally get to see what it's like to get all that DLC first, because I never had that. I've always played Call of Duty on PlayStation. And I understand that if you are an Xbox player and you're trying to get into the competitive scene, if competitive Call of Duty does switch over to PlayStation and you don't have, a couple $100s to blow in a new console, that's perfectly understandable, and I get that, and I see why that would make you mad. But there's also a flip side, and that's PlayStation players are finally, understanding this, and they're finally getting a chance, an opportunity to get into that scene. So what I'm really trying to say is, like, you guys are just treating this like it's Bloods and the Crips, you know what I mean? It's really not that big of a deal when you think about it. I mean, besides the fact that you may have to buy a new console if you're really serious about it, trying to get into it, that's probably the most extreme it gets. But you guys are treating it like a war. This shouldn't be a war. Truth be told, I wish there was no exclusivity in Call of Duty. I just wish all the DLC came out for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC all at the same time. That'd make things so much simpler and easier, and people wouldn't be fighting about it all the time. I mean, think of that word exclusivity. That comes from the word exclude, and you're being excluded from your own game. Now, if you just let that sink in for a second, that doesn't sound like Activision cares about you that much, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. But you guys, what I'm trying to say is just be respectful of people's opinions and their thoughts, because, whether you're a PlayStation or Xbox player, I understand both sides, and just please try to be mindful of other people's opinions. I didn't try to turn this into a big morals lesson, but that's kind of what it ended up being. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, give this a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.